Welcome, dear readers, to Cover My Ass, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours trulies. My name is Khaki.
And I'm Kay. And remember, we only judge a book by its cover.
And we find ourselves once more hidden from the towering stacks of your library. We've ensconced safely in the protective enclosure of the visitor center.
Yes, I must say, the last week, I've developed a little bit more feeling for your plight. Having been locked up here with you. I mean, I guess that you're not locked up here with you. I am locked up.
I'm stuck in here with me.
But so yes, I see a little bit more how you've been feeling about the library, and especially being stuck here in the visitor center for this past week.
Yeah, well, the first week is the hardest, and the second week is worse, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yes.
No, I hope you've been enjoying it. I've tried to ensure that there are some creature comforts while you've been stuck in here with me. Some of the leftover duck and hoisin sauce that I rescued from the cafeteria.
I hope that I've been able to contribute a little bit to the variety of cooking with what we've had available here.
You've been excellent, because I'm used to just tearing into that shit raw.
We do have the pantry available here, and we could manage to get back into the cafeteria while crawling through the ductware.
We'll have to see, because we are still under siege from the Velociraptors that, for some reason, have been attacking us while I've been protecting the stash of books based on films based on books, which these little dinosaurs seem to fucking hate.
Yeah, well, it's especially the Jurassic Park one that they seem to have it in for.
Look, I'm not going to let them damage that book.
No.
I'm a junior librarian now, so I'm going to protect these books.
This has left us in a little bit of a conundrum, because we've only had access to the books that you had stacked away in your bag when we got into the visitor center here. I think we should also mention about the visitor center. I did mention that we were going to have an open day here.
Yeah, you didn't mention that it was going to be 2 day and that we were going to be surrounded by people.
Yeah, no. So it's we have a few people here in the visitor center with us who came to view the library. Unfortunately, library viewings have been cancelled due to Velociraptors marauding the hallways. So unfortunately, I cannot offer you the promised tour of the library that we were going to give. And all.
No, we can still give a tour if everyone would just turn around and face back. This concludes our tour.
Thank you. Now, we hope you enjoy the bookworm canapes that we've set out for you here with hoisin sauce.
Yes, there's fucking hoisin sauce on everything, isn't there?
That's the only thing we had left. I'm sorry.
So please sit down and enjoy, and we will try to entertain you with today's book. We're going to review a book based on a film, based on a book that we, and probably you, definitely have never read.
Yes. So, on the Omega board here today, we have for you the title of this week's book. We'll be reviewing Zootopia 2, Robin Hood.
Oh, they seem to be really enthusiastic about this one.
So spontaneous.
What a delightful surprise.
Yes, it's the...
Please keep the applause coming, please.
It is the book after the movie after the book. And of course, as it goes with these things, the original book was Robin Hood, of course, and then the editors get their hands on it, and they try to pour it into the Zootopia format. And the movie, which everybody's seen, and it was a success, I'm sure you all enjoyed it. But then, of course, it got novelized again, because they think, we can make some more money out of this. And that changed it to the point that the original story gets a little bit lost in translation.
Unrecognizable. It's sort of like a game of telephone, you know, where you whisper into one person's ear and they whisper to the next person, and you have no idea what Aside from being a really creative rehash of a beloved literary classic, it's also like Disney making an homage to its own history.
Yes.
So not just traveling back in time to the High Middle Ages, where Robin Hood traditionally takes place, but also acknowledging their own, the 70s were difficult times for Disney.
Absolutely.
They weren't producing the highest quality. They were still many years away from their renaissance with, what was it? It started with Little Mermaid, right?
Lion King, Little Mermaid, somewhere around
Lion
that
King,
time.
the Little Mermaid. That was the great Disney renaissance.
Yeah. Everybody loves the original Robin Hood movie by Disney. But if you look at it, the quality of the artwork is shoddy. It's almost sketchwork which has been colored in, and it's got nothing of the precision that you later see in the...
and Little John was recycled from Baloo.
Oh yeah, there are many scenes. Lady Marian and Clucky dancing is also a copy from one of the scenes from Jungle Book. And there's a lot of it's just been traced over. So I guess in the anthropomorphic arts tradition, there's tracing is generally frowned upon. But when Disney do it, apparently...
then it's the style. No, then it's efficiency. Then it's cost saving.
It is. I mean, it does take a lot of work to animate that kind of thing.
But so I know that I speak for myself. I'm a very big fan of the original film Zootopia, the anthropomorphic world of various species, the very timely message of the various forms that bigotry can take in our lives, and how important it is to learn to live together, and how difficult it is to learn to live together. And that even people who think that they're very open-minded may still have biases that they're not aware of. Well, it was a very timely and subtle story, and so I appreciated that in this sequel they used the device of time travel in order to tell an equally important story about the perils of capitalism.
Capitalism and power, of course. Because,
power corrupts, absolutely.
The point of the story is, of course, when the mayor of Zootopia tries to set things right.
Yes, we remember Mayor Lionheart was imprisoned at the end of Zootopia for what was it
illegal
again?
Experimenting or keeping it under wraps or something like that. He was not really doing the experimenting himself. He was trying to keep it secret and imprisoning these people in their in that fortress over the waterfall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Guarded by the howling wolves.
Yes. So yes, he was. So at the beginning of the book, and not the movie, the book. This is one of those little things where the book differs greatly from the movie. The mayor escapes, and he manages to get hold of a time traveling device and go back in time to try and stop this problem that he had in Zootopia. It's going to mess with his re-election, getting arrested for these. Illegal imprisonment.
He kind of overshot the mark, though, didn't he? I mean, he only needed to go back a few weeks and, I guess, come clean. That would have been enough.
Yeah, make sure, tell himself, don't do it, don't play it like this. That would have been.
But instead, 600 years earlier into the past, he finally arrives.
He finds himself in Sherwood Forest.
We flash forward back to the present, where, as we recall, Nick Wilde at the end of Zootopia had completed his training as a police officer and had joined the force under Chief Bogo alongside his partner Judy Hopps. Gosh, I know these characters well.
Have you watched the movie a few times?
Well, not the movie, but certain artwork based on the.
Oh.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
But so Chief Bogo brings in Nick and Judy to a secret room in the police department where they have sort of like Time Cop. They have a time monitoring system.
Of course, they noticed that the mayor has gone missing, and that Mr. Lionheart has managed to create a disturbance in the time continuum. And
which they can somehow detect. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like a Minority Report, but then for time travel.
I said Time Cop already.
Time Cop.
Time Cop kind of covers the bait. Have we seen Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
No one will admit to it. Okay, no, of course.
Chief Bogo takes Nick and Judy down into the basement of the police station, where he unveils the fact that they have a police DeLorean.
Which is, as we all know, the optimum form of time travel, invented first in Back to the Future.
They basically get told to pile in the DeLorean and go back in time to stop the mayor.
Now, I thought it was a very bold narrative choice that we don't immediately follow Nick and Judy, but that we stay in the sort of Time Cop-esque history sensing chamber where they keep an eye on the various changes of history and realize that their mission has not been a success and they need backup. And they send the backup in the form of other characters that we know. They're also piled into the same police DeLorean because that's how time travel works. One after the other. And it's sort of like there was no lady who swallowed a fly, and you send in a spider to catch the fly, and then a mouse to catch the spider, and then you send a cat to catch the mouse, and then a dog to catch the amount of people that are being slingshotted into history to try and fix problems that they themselves continue to cause is
I'm fairly sure that they had more DeLoreans in that movie than were ever actually produced.
That's true. It is not a very popular car, although I understand they're being produced again.
And there's a good market for aftermarketing, taking the old chassis and refurbishing them and making them run again.
Yeah, because somebody literally bought a warehouse full of replacement parts and used replacement parts to build new cars.
They're all stainless steel, so they're pretty good.
No, but they're all rubbish, aren't they? They're terrible. Okay, good.
They don't rust. And it makes sense, actually, to have a time travel machine made out of stainless steel, because otherwise,
why?
If you made it out of cast iron or other iron, then it'll rust when you travel through time.
Oh, yes, of course. How silly of me. Time travel causes oxidation. I forgot about that. That's what we all learned in school.
Time causes
the passage of... Oh, okay.
Can't take you anywhere. Actually, I can't take you anywhere because we're stuck in this bloody visitor center.
It's for safety. So we have quite a significant cast that we remember from Disney's Robin Hood that we remember as a sequel to Zootopia.
I think they did a good job in mapping the various characters on the various roles in the original Robin Hood.
Now, okay, so let's take a look at the first mapping. Like, if we imagine that Zootopia character showed up in Robin Hood, who's the first one that we would guess? Come on, audience participation. Who do you think is Robin? Very good. Robin Hood is Nick Wilde. Oh, we should do audience participation. Oh, we should have little prizes.
We could.
I can write like a 1 on your forehead because your number. Would you like that? All I have to offer is this pen.
We're a bit low on resources here.
Okay, fine. We'll just do it. We'll just do it plain. Yes, of course. Robin Hood is Nick Wilde, who, I mean, he started off as a bit of a scammer and a schemer,
and he does slide back into that role a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's for some reason that the book doesn't mention is that Nick and Judy get sent back in time together. Yet they don't arrive together.
Yeah, time travel is apparently difficult.
Yeah, Nick found himself in the role of Robin Hood in the Sherwood Forest with his former partner.
Ah, yes. Now, Little John, played by the Fennec.
Yes.
I mean, this time the name is kind of appropriate now, right?
They went a little bit more literal in there than getting one of the bears.
The joke is that he's supposed to be massive, and then Fennec is actually small.
He's got the voice for it.
He certainly does. He has the big, deep voice. I had a colleague a few years ago, and his name was Tiny. And I was so disappointed that he was a regular-sized man. He wasn't huge, he wasn't little. Why would you name a child Tiny if you don't have certain expectations?
His parents actually called him that.
Yes.
That's an odd name to give a child anyway.
No, I don't have anything to...
Maybe they had aspirations for him to become an Italian mobster.
What?
It's like Italian mobster was always called Tiny.
Tony.
Tiny, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that works.
Tony, but yes. I mean, they also have names as Three Finger Jack or Jack. Well, Jack's not.
Or Six Dildo Bob. Yes.
And Six Dildo Bob and the Bluegrass Samba of Doom. But that's if you want to hear a strange song, look that up on the internet.
I think that's episode 25.
Is it? Oh yeah, we did do that.
We did that one. Yeah, much to our regret.
Well.
So he's actually Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other had to say. Reminiscing this and that and having such a good time. Oodalali, golly, what a day.
Which brings us to another character which was sent back in time. And much like in the original Zootopia, she occasionally shows up and doesn't do really much.
Yes.
We have, of course, as we were talking about characters, we have Gazelle in the role of Alan Adale.
The troubadour, originally Roger Miller, Roger Miller,
folk singer.
Playing the cockerel Alan Adale, now Gazelle, who narrates the story through song. And what a great choice. Unfortunately, she doesn't have her glitter tigers with her. I mean...
They show up later in the book.
Yeah, but that's what I was here for. Those were the other pieces of artwork that I really enjoyed on certain websites.
It's just a shame they didn't work out that scene.
Oh, they seem to work out a lot.
Well,
have you seen them?
Yes.
They're big, huge...
No, I meant the producers didn't work out that dance sequence. I would have loved to see more of that. I would have loved to see their whole routine.
Yes.
That's the one thing that's missing in the movie. There need to be more glitter tigers.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about some glitter tigers right now. Should we all just close your eyes and just have a little think about those glitter tigers? Okay, back to the story. So... we have Gazelle as Alan Adale, the troubadour bard, telling us this story of... Now, so far, Robin Hood, it's quite close to the story that we remember. He scams the rich to protect the poor. He's developed his empathy, his sense of justice, but he also, he likes his hustles, baby.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's where the glitter tigers come in. It's the first time is when him and Little John go and spot the caravan with the tax money coming in. And of course, instead of rhinos in this version, they have the tigers carrying the big chest with the gold in it.
Yeah. The glitter tiger rhinos. I almost forgot that I had a note for that. The glitter tiger rhinos. Wow. Are we good at this? I'm very proud of us.
And they polish off the money and they embarrass King John. Not the first, not the worst.
That's right.
Let's not go into another song here.
Who did we say that King John was again? Prince John.
Prince John. Did we go? No. Well, no. You might get the suggestion that we're making this up as we're going along.
No.
It's definitely a real book that we've been reviewing over the past few.
I think that was.
The problem has been that being thrown back in time, Mayor Lionheart has ended up in the role of King Richard the Lionheart.
Oh, here.
Oh, there we go. And he's completely he's stuck, and like he's not actually in the movie except for the last scene.
Just like in the original Robin Hood, like he's just kind of off screen, and then the story ends with him returning, and it's all fine again.
Everything is like works out. I mean, part of the problem is that's what we discover with the time travelers, and why they have to keep sending extra people, is because the time DeLoreans, whenever they come and drive, they seem to be stuck in reverse, and they can't get back. That's why they can't go back to the future, because like
they can't go forward to the future.
Well, yes, because they can't go forward to the future because they're stuck in reverse. Correct. Why do I do this with you?
So we have Prince John, played by Duke Weselton, Duke Weaselton, the other scammer from Zootopia,
who gets to be his little slinky little Weasley self and throw a big fit when they make off with his gold.
Yeah, he's a bit of a drama queen, that one.
He is, but the best kind, really. It's like, oh, come on.
And so far, well, yes, I agree. And so far, you could mistake this story for the original Robin Hood, right? It's nice and. It's nice and low stakes. It's clearly a very family-friendly production. So I was kind of surprised by the level of violence once we started following Judy's plotline, because even though Judy Hopps is Maid Marian, and she at this point has started Occupy Nottingham, the extremely violent wealth redistribution terrorist regime.
She will not have any of it. She is not the maid sitting in the tower waiting for the dragon to come rescue her. No, wait, that's not how it goes. She gets down and she goes out on the street, and she is like, she does not care about anything that Prince John has to say.
Boom, headshot. Like she is executing people left and right.
She's got her police revolver out, and
it's like the animated sequence in Kill Bill. It's so violent.
It's remarkable that there's anybody left.
To the point that while when we have Robin Hood and Little John, they're playing their fun schemes and making some money, she's literally busting into people's homes and executing them in the street and yelling, "Eat the rich!" And her followers actually eat the rich, because this is still like the predation is a real thing. She's just going fucking off the net.
That's why I think considering her backstory, I would think she would like go into Nottingham and like take charge like a proper maid and like control things, do things how right. And like, I mean, she's a farm girl. I mean, I would have thought she'd been introducing modern farming methods to alleviate the problems that the people of Nottingham have.
She certainly does.
But bone meal is a good fertilizer. I realize that. And specifically that one scene where like, you know, the executed rich get like basically
ground up into compost.
And yes. It's not a pretty scene. It's like, I don't understand how Disney managed to get away with that.
Well, again, this was before, I mean, they were harking back to their days before the Renaissance. Like they did, do you remember the Black Cauldron?
Oh, yes.
And that was proper scary.
It was.
That was terrifying.
Did you ever read the original books?
No, I don't think so. Because that kind of defies the concept of this podcast.
We haven't reviewed those yet, so it's allowed.
Okay.
No, it's like the original story is it's very dark and scary, very much so.
Yeah.
The Disneyfied it, basically.
Wait, so you're telling me that the movie The Black Cauldron was the upbeat version of an even darker book?
An even darker children's book, yes.
Wow. No wonder we turned out the way we did. I wonder what that's going to do to the generation that comes after us, because I have great hope for people who grew up on Zootopia. Like when I walked out of that film, I already had the idea that this is a movie that a lot of parents are going to use to explain a lot of very different things to their children. About how people get on with each other, and depending on their life experiences, various perspective on discrimination and bigotry.
Yeah, and prejudice.
And prejudice, in various forms, which I thought was very, very good and very enlightening. But anyone who went to Zootopia 2, Robin Hood, Like, you're going to come out of that scarred, or you're going to come out of that and just an anarchist occupying wherever you live.
To be honest, I think they were trying to do it like sell off the toy sales, and they realized like how much much they're making in with Star Wars, selling lightsabers and holocrons, and they just want to get into the violent toys business. It's like,
the 4 to 5 year old crossbows, those are very popular. The little Maid Marian with her bloody axe. Action figure. You can fill it up with ketchup, and then actual blood will spray out when she can whack someone on the head.
It's like the Monty Python rabbit had nothing on her.
Speaking of, I think the Monty Python rabbit is in the
audience.
We have an audience of the terrible rabbit of Caer Banog.
You're the one who speaks Welsh, not me.
Croeso I Gymru. I mean, the level of violence is shocking, but also the duration of it. Like, everybody else gets little vignettes, and then it's always back to Judy and her reign of terror. Oh. Judy dragging the rich out. I mean, she introduces some modern farming methods on the side.
But that seems to be a more thing. It becomes like a really bit of a Mad Judy thing. It's like she's like, I don't know why I wrote that down.
What is it? Is there, okay, let's all break this down and see if we can figure out. So, is it the Mad King from Game of Thrones, maybe? Is it a Mad Max reference? Is it a reference
Judy,
to...
Yes.
It's a Mad Man.
It's not Maid Judy, it's Mad Judy. That's what they're calling her.
Okay. That's like, from Maid Marian to Mad...
Maid Judy, and it's Mad Judy.
And Mad Marian wouldn't have been better, you think?
Mad Marian, I suppose it could have been.
Should we just... hold on.
Mad Marian.
Mad Marian. There we go.
Let's do some chronological editing here.
Yeah. Can we all just pretend that was how we started? Because I think that's rather good. And then... Hold on.
Marian. Yes, write it upside down so that everybody can read it properly.
This is sort of a Rorschach test. If you see a butterfly in there, that means you're gay. Okay, more fun correlations. Who else do we have on the board here? Oh yes, of course. The only thing that's keeping Mad Marian from going completely insane is her trusty sidekick, her lady in waiting, her best friend, Lady Clawhauser, the hefty cheetah who
wears the dress so well.
He seems to like it.
Well, yes,
he's just exploring some stuff. Yeah,
hauling up his petticoat when he's running around after her.
Wouldn't you?
Oh well, of course.
What's the point of petticoats if you can't sort of daintily
this is true. And like not
dance about in
the
them?
Ankle because of like the long undergarment with like puffy frills around the ankles, and he's like, and it's like it's such a fitting role for Clawhauser, I think.
Yeah, even though he's spattered in blood, and even though he has to drag the corpses off, he does
like a shocked expression
every time, and then he has a little donut and he cries to himself, and then he just buries it all back down. It just buries it all back down and doesn't talk about it like a responsible adult.
Donuts.
Is there a reference there that I'm missing? Okay, just Nottingham Donuts. Cool.
Well, we could go the whole Cornish pasty way, but like I don't think Nottingham.
Now, which ones are those?
Those are the short crust pastry ones. They're usually quite big.
Yeah.
And they roll them out. It used to be a Cornish miners thing, and they'd get them. They'd have them prepared, and they'd be like most of them would be filled with savory food, mostly potatoes and carrots and stuff like that.
That's a good pie.
And towards one end, it would be have a sweet filling. So you would have your food while you were in one. You would have a little dessert towards one corner of the.
That's clever.
Of the pasty. So that was it was a nice way to go. I don't think personally I'd like just make separate breakfast, but my Jamaican pasties.
Oh no, what are they called? No, patties, aren't they?
No, pasties.
Pasties.
Yeah, Jamaican Jamaican pasties. No, wait.
What the fuck was that? Jamaican pasties. G'day, mate. Welcome to Jamaica.
must be the Australian bartender you find everywhere.
So yeah, we finish off with Sir Hiss as assistant mayor. Wow, I shouldn't have shortened assistant quite like that.
I think you did that on purpose.
Assistant Mayor Bellwether. My attorney has advised me to neither confirm nor deny.
Who sits there whispering her little falsehoods and little manipulations into Prince John's ear.
Yeah. It's just now occurring to me that both Prince and Little are named John in this story.
Yes.
Was this always the case?
Yes. Little John and Prince John.
Why did I never make that connection?
Well, they're not connected. I mean, they're like just two characters happen to be called John.
Yeah, okay.
Like they only had 17 first names back in the Middle Ages. Like the rest was invented later,
and they all had to mean rock. I mean, this is actually true. Like the the source words on which many of these names are based. John, like Alan, I happen to know. Also, Rock, John, Rock. Like, apparently in the Proto-Indo-European language, as it was.
Rock was very important.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
They beat scissors, but they didn't have them back then.
No, they didn't have. No, well, that's because Rock beat them all.
Oh, that'll be it. So it was only after paper was invented that Rock could be defeated and scissors could come back. That would have been it. That makes sense all of a sudden.
I don't know why. Like this podcast, did we explain it well enough? Did the people have any chance of enjoying this? And now it's the part that we look forward to so much, where we try and figure out how this shit ends.
Well, of course, we have. First of all,
do you have something?
Well, we're going to have to remember we're forgetting the most important scene of the book. It's
that's right.
The archery contest.
That's right. I forgot the archery contest in the book.
Yes, I mean, John, of course, gets does the same thing that they did in the original book. This time whispered in by Sir Hiss, as depicted by Miss Bellwether. And they tell them to go and do the archery contest. Now, we arrive at a problem here because Nick,
unlike Robin,
does not know how to shoot a bow.
He's not very good at it at all, but he is good at scheming. Yeah.
And they go okay, how can we fix this? And we can rig an archery contest. And when they come up with a good way to rig the archery contest. They go to one of the DeLoreans. They rip out some of the parts, and they do it with fucking magnets.
Yes.
They just set up a ginormous magnetic coil behind one of the targets. And when it's Nick's turn to shoot, they just turn it on, and the arrow goes straight through the target.
Bullseye every time.
And it goes into the hole. He split the arrow, and he double split the arrow. Lots of huzzahing and...
Now, here's what I was curious about. So in the original film, the original film of the book, Robin Hood by Disney in 1973, Robin's motivation for joining the archery contest is that he wants a kiss from Marion, with whom he's still sweethearts.
Yes.
But in this case, Marion is literally off terrorizing the wealthy.
Well, I mean, it's during the archery contest, you can see the smoke rising up from Nottingham, and several times, people are asking, is it wise that we are holding an archery contest while Maid Marian is on a rampage in the city? And all the nobles are kind of sitting there rather nervous, and they actually figured it's probably safer out there than it is to stay in town.
Yeah, but they also want to deal with, or they also think that it's probably is now the right time to be talking about responsible bow ownership? Should we be talking about maybe arrow control?
We limit quivers to a capacity of 10 arrows.
Oh, yes.
You can only have arrows which are no longer than furlong. No, wait, furlong is...
That's an impressive...
I meant to say yard.
Yard, there
I don't know why I went to furlong. Even fathom would have been unfeasibly long arrows.
Is a fathom shorter than a furlong?
Yes. A fathom is almost 2 meters, I think, or maybe 4.
Oh, okay. How much is a league?
Oh, roughly a mile.
Okay, cool. Let's keep doing this. What else do we have? A hectare.
100 by 100 meters.
Oh, God damn, you're good at this.
It's not that. It's when you have to
it's magic, isn't it?
It's when you have to start doing conversions. It's
yes, let's do some of those.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
Furlongs per fortnight. It's you can do it, but
spoiling all my fun.
Especially if you want to express the speed of light in furlongs per fortnight, you get ridiculously large numbers. Okay, it turns out the problem is, of course, that the reason that John had to raise the taxes was to pay for the ransom of good King Richard.
Now, was this the case in the original book as well?
In the original book, yes. In the original Disney modification, I think it was just because Little John... good King John, no.
Prince John.
Prince John,
yes.
Shitty
Prince John.
Yeah, Prince John. Shitty Prince John, he was just being a greedy little bastard who wanted all the money for himself, I think.
Yeah.
It's mostly Hiss who would like to do the whole coin counting stack. That was
he seemed to like
series.
That.
And I guess that Miss Bellwether did a good job at that as well. It's being a good little bureaucrat that she is.
And certainly convincing. Who did we have? Duke Westleton, because she offered him the one thing he couldn't refuse.
Money. So at the end of the archery contest, when Robin is being captured and held imprisoned, you can see in the background it's basically a column of an army which has been raised by Judy, marching out of the gates of Nottingham and disappearing off in the distance.
Yeah, leaving behind her burning buildings, a castle in ruins.
Yeah. Of course, this is caused for a complete debasement of the currency.
Yeah, by stealing and reintroducing the currency so quickly that even though it's the same money being stolen and returned. It seems like inflation, and it's worth less every time that it re-enters the economy.
And it basically turns into the scene where everybody's poor and nothing is going right, and
everybody's in debtors' prisons.
Absolutely,
including Gazelle. We've got the glitter tiger rhinos.
Oh no, they're standing with glittering in front of the tower, holding everybody imprisoned in there. They do have, for some reason, Clawhammer Hauser in there as
Clawhammer. No, I like it. That's his prison nickname. He's Clawhammer.
I'm just going to sit on you if you don't do as he says. Yeah. So it's like still in his pretty dress. Like they have the whole daring escape scene where they manage to fight their way out of the tower, and just as it looks at it's getting recaptured again.
Oh yeah.
There's another big fanfare and arrival, and looks what happens. Judy shows back up. Having fought her way to the Holy Land and back again, bringing back King Richard.
He's overthrown the monarchy, so he's just Richard now.
Yeah.
He has joined her cause and introduces essentially a highly successful, if not particularly stable, form of communism into Europe in the 14th century.
Finally managed to get the DeLoreans back in
working order.
Back into working order.
Much in the same way that DeLoreans are being manufactured again today, they disassemble all the various time DeLoreans that they've used to go back in time and constructed one working one out of it.
They managed to get everything out, and it basically sets them up for coming back into Zootopia. But it's not the Zootopia that they expect it to be. And it sets it very nicely up for the last one. It's like Judge Judy. Based on the formerly played by Sylvester Stallone, which is going to be the third installment in the Zootopia series.
Yes. In the blasted wasteland of Zootopia, one woman is the law, Judge Judy. Oh, why couldn't we have done that one? Wow, I really hurt myself there. Why couldn't we have done that one? That would have been so good. But hey, I think we actually managed to make it to the end of this book. This book had an ending.
Amazing, isn't it?
So, how are we gonna rate this book?
Let's see.
What's a good anarchy number?
Anarchy doesn't believe in numbers.
Exactly. That's a tricky one. Look, what kind of a rating do we give to this book? Let's see. We've had a bunch of different characters. Oh no, you start. How many furlongs out of a farthing?
Oh, farthing is money. Furlongs out of a farthing.
Yeah.
Well, we have penny farthings, so how many pennies out of a farthing? How about we go with
a penny farthing is a bicycle.
They didn't have those in Robin Hood.
Okay, how many penny farthings out of a DeLorean? You can do it by weight.
Well, you could, because they're stainless steel.
This is the most entertaining part of the podcast. Look, see how everyone's on tenterhooks. Yeah. They can't wait to hear the number that you're going to make up.
Okay, so you can make at least 1,000 penny farthings out of a DeLorean.
Cool.
I liked it. And I especially liked it.
It's a good book, right?
Yeah,
it's a little violent for the age range.
I'll give it 10 pennies out of a farthing.
That sounds right. So, what do we have in store for our readers next week?
Yes. Next week's book is by Jade Boss. It is Where the Self-Obsessed Get Serious About Hookers or Cake.
Sounds like a great book. And that about covers it. Thank you for joining us and Cover My Ass here, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours truly. My name is Khaki. And remember, we only judge a book by its cover.